K-Nation. Sponsored by 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Coming up on K-Nation, we're recapping Week 1 for KU and K-State football as the Hawks improve to 2-0 and the Cats take its first win of the season.
Plus, I talked with Go Power Cats Grant Snowden following K-State's 38-35 win over North Dakota. He breaks down the Cats season so far in just a bit.
And I chatted with Henry Greenstein of the Lawrence Journal World and KUSports.com. He breaks down the Hawks' dominant 46-7 win over the Wagner Seahawks. Welcome into K-Nation. I'm Cole Inplet, joined alongside Sydney Clark.
We've got a lot of K-State and KU sports coming your way, but first, let's start on the gridiron at Bill Snyder Family Stadium, where the Cats played in its home opener yesterday. It was a close one at Bill Snyder Family Stadium for the Cats, seeking its first win of the season after falling to the Cyclones in Dublin Week 0. We'll start things off in the first, where after two unsuccessful drives by both teams, K-State strikes first with a 30-yard field goal from Luis Rodriguez. The North Dakota Fighting Hawks would follow that up with a touchdown on the next drive, but that was no problem for the Cats. Avery Johnson connection with Jace Brown for the 44-yard touchdown reception. The Wildcats lead 10-7 at the end of the first. North Dakota would strike first in the second, but Avery Johnson's second touchdown, a 30-yarder to Jaron Tibbs, would put the Cats back on top. But the Fighting Hawks would score right after that, leading 21-17 at the half. It was all purple in the third thanks to two touchdown runs from Devon Rice for 9 and 13 yards to give the Wildcats the lead 31-21. Taking to the late in the fourth after two touchdowns from North Dakota, the Cats are on upset watch, trailing 35-31. But a 6-yard pass from Johnson to Joe Jackson puts the Cats right back on top. They get the win 38-35 and improve to 1-1. Here's head coach Chris Kleiman on that win.
Being at FCS, and if you give teams life, they're going to stick around the whole time. And I told the guys, you're never assured of anything. You're never given anything. You never deserve anything. You've got to earn everything you have. And this new era of college football, nobody knows what other teams have. Nobody knows how good teams are.
I mean, hey, a win is a win, but the Cats definitely didn't want that one coming down that close in the final minutes of the game. But ultimately, Kleiman believes it was the energy and leadership from the older players on that squad who helped keep the energy calm and helped K-State secure a win at home in the final minutes.
4th and 6, whatever it was, we throw the incompletion with 2:05 left, and the resolve of the older kids showed up, and we were able to get a quick stop, punt the ball away, and have to go 81 yards. And that's going to be a defining drive for Avery Johnson, because he was as calm and cool and made play after play after play.
One of the main struggles for the Cats in last night's game was the defense. Failing to make crucial stops against the Fighting Hawks, K-State was favored by over 3 touchdowns ahead of the game and ended up being by just 3 points. Now, senior defensive end Cody Stufflebean made some great plays for the Wildcats, but Coach Kleiman says the team needs to work on its discipline.
Our eye discipline was awful. Awful. Our guys' eyes were in the backfield when they're supposed to be on the tight end, on the wide out, on the motion. It was terrible, and that's the discipline I'm talking about. We work plays, and I watch the plays on the video, and we've worked those during the week, and we screw them up. That's intentional focus. That's a lack of intentional focus, that my eyes are supposed to be there, and that eye candy's coming for a reason to pull your eyes, and it worked, and it pulled our eyes.
You know, Week 1 matchups for the Cats shouldn't be that down to the wire for that Week 1 game. I mean, obviously next week they're playing Army, so that will be a difficult game for them. But hey, a good matchup that we had last night, and it was fun to watch.
And like Kleiman said, a win is a win. And, you know, I think they're still coming down from Ireland a little bit. He kind of mentioned that, like, you know, we're having that hangover. And, hey, you're able to power through it, which is great for a win. But obviously going into Army and then before their first second conference game now of the season, following Ireland against Arizona, they definitely want to pick it up just a little bit. But, all right, now let's catch up with the Kansas Jacks, who had a little bit of a different different week one action. Friday night, they improved to 2-0 on the young season. It was their second straight home game from the booth as the Hawks took on Wagner. And to no surprise, the energy was still electric in Lawrence. I know I could feel it from my first time in the booth. Lance Leipold with the Jayhawks was 4-0 against FCS opponents, and that would remain. Quarterback Jalen Daniels got busy early, finding a wide open Deshaun Hanika, and I mean wide open. I think I could have caught that pass for a touchdown, and that's how they got started. Not too long later, connecting with the Alabama transfer Emmanuel Henderson Jr. Those two would link up twice on the night. We'll hop to the second quarter, and it's much of the same for the Jayhawks, doing really whatever they want. Daniels look across the middle, connects with Cam Pickett. They connected a couple times in game one. And then a couple drives later, how about handing off to the tailback, Daniel Heishaw Jr. He fights his way in for sixes. Kansas would win big 46-7. They had 631 total yards of offense. Here's QB1 on playing back in the booth.
You know, I'm very excited. I mean, got the chance to be able to go out in the booth again in the new stadium, second game in a row, and we were able to come out with a win, so that's always exciting.
The Jayhawks, of course, now sit 2-0 on the season, and if you haven't been able to pick up on it quite yet, it's large part to their fast-paced offense. All right, Daniels threw for 280 yards and had 4 touchdowns, and like we said, he connected with Alabama transfer Emmanuel Henderson Jr. for 2 of them. As those two guys, they continue to build some great chemistry.
8 contested catches, he's done things, and again, he works so hard. He's a hard worker. He's humble. Really like what he adds to our offense.
It's been great. All him working with us and all the receivers. It's been going good. In and out of practice, just catching balls from him has been amazing.
All right, Sydney, the vibes are high in Jayhawk land. All right, 2-0, but now comes a battle in week 2. It's the Border Showdown, formerly known as the Border War against Mizzou. KU traveled to Columbia to take on the Missouri Tigers on Saturday in a contest, big rivalry game, which hasn't been played since 2011. KU enters 2-0 while Mizzou comes in 1-0 after beating FCS Central Arkansas 61-6 on Saturday. Leipold knows what this game means for his team, but also understands it's a long season.
It is, I know it's a game that's a lot at stake, but, after that game is over next week, no matter what the outcome may be, and I know we'll have our team ready to play, but we have to play 9 more games after that. So there's a lot there that has to be balanced as you approach games like this, but I know it's something that people have been waiting for a long time, and it should be exciting.
Obviously, it's a great, exciting game, big rivalry game, but I feel like this is the first, obviously, test for KU this season. They had a Mountain West opponent, and then going against FCS, but this will be their first test. Like, all right, how do we compare against Mizzou? It's going to be a very loud environment, and of course, haven't played there in a long time, so I'm really interested to see how they can really get the trains going on this one.
And the offense is looking good right now for the Hawks. We mentioned earlier that Cam Pickett, Jalen's connection, as well as with Emmanuel Henderson Jr. So right now, the offense is looking well, and you can see that chemistry developing on the field for the Hawks.
It's going to be a fun one. I personally can't wait for it. Well, don't go anywhere. We still got plenty more to talk about, including our exclusive one-on-one with Go Powercats Grant Snowden and the Lawrence Turner World and KUSports.com's Henry Greenstein.
But first, the Cats and Hawks ranked up some on the court and the pitch in the green. We've got highlights from volleyball, soccer, and golf right after the break.
Hi, I'm Jim Knight with Pelleplex of Kansas. With top-quality products backed by an industry-leading warranty and a 10-year installation and service promise, you can count on us to provide long-lasting value for your home. Call or visit to learn more about the beauty, affordability, and reliability of Pella windows and doors.
Your independence is important to you, and it's important to our team. You've been training for this moment all year. It's time to get off the bench.
Come join the McCrite team, for it's your time to shine.
Hometown barbecue at the Blind Tiger Brewery. Pulled pork, brisket, and burnt ends. Smoked, tender, and juicy. Choose from our 2 unique sauces and our many savory sides.
Blind Tiger Brewery and Restaurant, 37th and Kansas.
Are you looking for a new truck? You'll find it here at Flint Hills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Manhattan. Hi, I'm Kyle Eck, owner and CEO.
And I'm Shane Summers, general manager.
Happening now. Ram 1500s are priced 10% below MSRP. No gimmicks, just real power and real savings. Farm, work, or play. Now's the time to take advantage of our Labor Day sales event.
Shop local and save big at Flint Hills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Manhattan.
So come in or visit us at fhcdjr.com.
It's the 30th anniversary of the Sertoma Great to Pick a Duck race, and on September 13th, thousands of ducks will virtually race their way to the finish line. Amazing prizes will be given to the lucky winners after the race. Prizes include this 2016 Ford Edge provided by Noller Auto Group and a chance to win $1 million. Adopt your ducks at TopekaDuckRace.org and help benefit community programs supported by the Sertoma Clubs of Topeka. Hey, Quacky, what should everyone do? That's right. Adopt your ducks today at TopekaDuckRace.org.
When you wake up in the morning, it's an all-new season of Live with Kelly and Mark. Next Live, Paul Wesley and Carson Kressley.
Monday at 11 on 27 KSNT.
Welcome back into K-Nation. Sydney, let's talk some soccer.
Let's talk some soccer. KU Soccer had a big match on the pitch on Thursday as they took on the #2 Florida State Seminoles from Rock Chalk Park in Lawrence. And boy, was it a sold-out crowd. Florida State has won 2 titles in the past 5 years in 2021 and 2023. With the support of a home crowd, the Hawks were able to end things in a draw, FSU 1-1. The Seminoles opened up the scoring in the first, but just 13 minutes later, freshman Mary Sola gets the unassisted goal. Florida State had not given up a goal this season until Thursday's match. Here's head coach Nate Lee on the draw.
I don't think we change a lot, but I do believe that playing the Emily Gabies of the world, playing the TCUs and the BYUs of the world who have special players, makes you understand how thin the margins are and gives you that motivation to help your teammate.
How about the freshmen making the big play as well?
Yeah.
Going against a very tough team.
Things you love to see.
I love to see. We're going over now to K-State. The Wildcats are on the road in Massachusetts. They took on UMass Lowell on Thursday, looking to stay undefeated, and it was all Cats all day for goals from 4 different players as Andra Mueller, Allison Marshall, Hannah Palmer, and Gabby Demers each notched one to help defeat the Riverhawks 4-0. McKenna Braswell had 2 assists on the day as the Cats are now off to a 4-0 start. It's their best start in program history. K-State will stay in Massachusetts to take on Harvard tomorrow at 10:30 a.m.
And it's been a busy few days for KU volleyball, facing off against 3 ranked opponents in its last 3 matches. What a start to the season. And despite its record, the Jayhawks put up quite a fight. KU took the reigning national champions Penn State to a 5-set thriller on Monday before falling 15-12 in set 5. Then on Friday, the team took on #8 Wisconsin, taking the Badgers to set 5 but losing 15-10. Today, the Hawks took on #12 Creighton and once again fell in the 5th set.
Still encouraging to see. They have a tough team, and Matt Ulmer knows this. They're going to get some very tough competition before they even get back to home this year.
Hey, but good to get tough competition in before conference play starts.
Exactly. The Wildcats, meanwhile, they opened their season at home, taking on the UMBC Retrievers on Friday, looking to get a win in front of the home crowd as the Cats delivered sweeping the Retrievers in 3 sets, 25-20, 25-16, and 25-15. Senior Shaylee Myers led the match with 20 kills, while senior Ava LeGrand led in assists and digs with 32 and 12. K-State took on the Delaware Blue Hens earlier this afternoon, sweeping them in 3 sets.
And Kansas Women's Golf hosted the Jayhawk Invitational last week, and one Hawk soared above the competition. Senior Amy DeCock scored her first collegiate win at the Invitational on Monday. DeCock had 3 birdies on her final 9 holes. The Jayhawks finished second behind ULM.
Former Wildcat Serena Sundell signed a 7-day hardship contract with the Dallas Wings on Tuesday after Wings guard J.C. Quinterly suffered a season-ending injury. Sundell was drafted by the Seattle Storm in the 3rd round of the 2025 WNBA draft, but was waived after a month. And stick around, we've got plenty after the break,
including my exclusive one-on-one with Grant Snowden of Go Power Cat. We'll be right back.
For over 38 years, our law firm has called Kansas home. If your child has suffered a birth injury, you need an experienced team on your side. Contact us today for a free consultation and let Prochaska Howell Prochaska be your birth injury team.
At Denali Home Design, we're proud to partner with our in-house flooring experts.
Skilled Saws delivers unmatched craftsmanship and precision in hardwood flooring.
Choose Denali Home Design and Skilled Saws, where local expertise
meets exceptional service.
Hi, Clay with Swims and Sweeps. I'm here with Frank and Dean, the CEOs of Cute. They want me to talk about how we care about you and your pool, not just your credit card. Online and big box stores are not giving you the right advice. It's not the price per pound, it's the advice per pool.
What have we got?
The Andersons. All night tossing and turning, bad backs, sleep score at an all-time low.
Round up the team.
At Denver Mattress, going undercover is literally how we solve problems.
And when we find sleepers waking up with aches and pains, we turn to the Tempur-Pedic Adapt, designed for ultimate pressure relief that uniquely adapts to your body's pressure points.
And right now, save up to $700 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. And get a $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Positive Connections 9 at Night Golf Tournament is September 27th at Top City Golf. This is a 9-hole, 4-person scramble nighttime event. Tee off at 7 p.m. Scan the QR code or go to givebutter.com/night-at-night to register.
Summer's almost over.
But there's lots of end-of-summer fun at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Go long! Yes. Time right. Manning drops back and he flips one right down the middle. Well done. No, this one's burning.
Celebrate the end of summer fun with Toyota's National Sales Event. Right now, get 1.99% APR financing for 72 months on the 2025 Tundra.
Come in today.
Great job, rookie.
Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back into K-Nation. Following Saturday night's win, Cindy, you got to speak to a K-State insider on that dramatic finish.
A dramatic finish indeed, and I was joined in one-on-one with Grant Snowden of Go Power Cat from 24/7 Sports, and he gave me kind of an exclusive insider kind of feed on how the Cats are looking. Well, it wasn't an easy win here for the Cats in their home opener against North Dakota. Joined here by 24/7 Go Power Cats writer Grant Snowden. We're going to talk a little about the win, kind of break it all down. Grant, kind of tell me what your thoughts are after that win.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, obviously it's a win. It's not a win that necessarily the coaches or players are happy with, but, as history's shown, those losers of the Dublin game don't always seem to come out on top, and you see it from Florida State last year, a nationally ranked team, and you end up winning 2 games after that loss in Dublin. So it feels good to get a win. Obviously not satisfied, and there's a lot of work to do in that locker room.
And, Coach Kleiman said in that presser earlier that he kind of hopes this was their hangover game that got out of their system. How hard is it coming back from across the pond in that Dublin game? A tough Big 12 loss to coming back here and only a few days of rest back in that time zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was over in Ireland for a couple weeks, and, it took me a few days to get back from the jet lag and all that good stuff. But, Kleiman and the coaches also said, that's no excuse. I mean, North Dakota's a good football team, don't get me wrong, but that's not the score anyone expected. And, going forward, you've just got to perform better, defensively mostly. I mean, Avery Johnson threw for over 300 yards, had a great game, so, that's not the problem. It's mostly the defense. They got to fill in some gaps and make some tackles and give up less chunk yardage. But, hopefully this is a hangover game. You bring in a good football team. Army won a conference championship last year, but obviously a tough loss to Tarleton State a day ago. So definitely some challenges going forward, though, in that triple option offense.
And not an easy week 2 matchup coming up for the Cats. But what can we see out of that veteran leadership to keep them going throughout the season? Like you said, and Avery Johnson had a great game today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this, veterans make or break a team season, like Avery Johnson you mentioned. I mean, in his presser, he said, if he has the ball last, he expects to win the football game. That's the kind of, response you want to hear out of a quarterback. If you're a fan, you want to go out there and win a football game. So I think he stepped into a much bigger role this season. You bring in, defensive guys like Cody Stufflebean, Uso, Damian Alalio, and Austin Romaine, VJ Payne. I mean, all great leaders on the defense. So they have the skills in that room to, make a turnaround and show some great leadership. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this team responds. And like you said, it's not going to get any easier.
And you mentioned some of those defensive guys for the Cats. What can you tell me about that defensive squad they have here?
Yeah, I think it's a team that brings, a lot of skill and depth. And, running the 4-man front on the defensive line has certainly been different than Kansas State teams have done in the past. But, I mean, it's been working out well for him. I mean, Toby Ontusomni made a lot of good plays tonight, and Cody Stufflebean, fresh off his college game day appearance this morning, made, a big sack in the first half and a strip fumble. But, yeah, I think you've got a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, secondary is a little young. It's still taking some time to get meshed, but, it's a team with a lot of potential, and, you got to have a good week of practice, and hopefully the hangover's done now, and you got to go out and, show what this football team's capable of.
Kind of want to hear your opinion on this. Any sleeper players we kind of got on this team that you think, or maybe some guys that we haven't mentioned that deserve a shout out from today's game?
Yeah, I think Devon Rice is a guy that comes to mind for me. A couple of touchdowns tonight, and that's a guy that wasn't expected to have a huge role. Obviously, RB3, you're going to get some snaps in a game and just give your guys a chance to get off the field. But he really impressed me tonight, and he stepped into a much bigger role with Dylan Edwards being now. And Joe Jackson struggled a little bit tonight. I mean, I know he ended up with that big touchdown to obviously end up winning the game, but Devon Rice is a guy to keep an eye on. He gets upfield, he makes really good cuts, and he knows how to get downfield. He has a lot of speed, and I believe he's in the 22-mile-per-hour club here in this team. So that's a guy to definitely keep an eye on.
That's for this week's games in just a little bit.
But first, my exclusive one-on-one with Henry Greenstein of the Lawrence Urban World and KUSports.com. Stick with us.
No curveballs here, just straightforward service from Messler Roofing, Siding, and Windows. Make a double play with 2 or more exterior replacements and knock off 10% today. Call for details.
This summer at Noller Ford, get 0% financing on new 2024 Fords and 0% on new 2025 Escapes, Explorers, and F-150s. Bring us any competitor's offer and we'll beat it by $500. Only at Noller Ford.
I'm so glad I called Devon James. I really just needed somebody to look out for me that knew what they were doing. Because, yeah, my husband can call and yell at the insurance company, but it's not going to get anywhere. Car accidents, especially when you're injured, there's, like, medical bills just add up like crazy. And when you have Devon James, you know that they're going to take care of it. So they really made things easy to where it wasn't an added hassle by having them. It was just an added bonus. I'm Brittany, and I'm an actual client of Devon James.
When you wake up in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, darling, I'll be by your side.
Here are Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Be there for an all-new season of Daytime's #1 entertainment talk show.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekdays at 11 on 27 KSNT.
The 14th Annual Kansas Book Festival will be held on Saturday, September 20th at Washburn University. The festival welcomes all ages, with presentations by over 50 authors from all genres, including fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and kids' books. There will also be outdoor performances, food trucks, and an exhibitor area with publishers and authors from around Kansas.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Cole, you talked with the one and only after that KU football game and a former guest on K-Nation.
Henry Greenstein of the Lawrence Journal World and KSports.com. We get to catch up for only his second on-site interview with us, so here's that exclusive interview. Against an FCS opponent like Wagner, an inferior opponent, you know, no one questioned whether KU was going to win or not tonight. It was just kind of how they executed. Obviously, the starters only got about that first half. I know they got a little bit in the second half, Jalen Daniels, especially after that interception in the first half. What did you like about the starter group, and do you think they've done enough to impress going into, of course, a big week?
Yeah, this is a little specific, but I liked the tempo they played with. I feel like in previous years, whether it was Andy Kotelnicki or Jeff Grimes as the offensive coordinator, KU wasn't necessarily known for that up-tempo, no-huddle style. But you could tell it really had Wagner on its heels. And it's not even like KU hadn't shown that the previous week, so it was on film for Wagner to deal with. But, you know, it generated a lot of missed assignments. Deshaun Hanukkah didn't even run a route on his touchdown. He basically just said, hey, there's no one covering me. Give me the ball. And that ended up being his first touchdown since November 2022. So just an example of how that can kind of benefit KU going forward. That was something I really liked from the first unit. It was nice to see Daniel Highshaw do, I think, maybe a little bit better than he did last week. And, you know, there are some, on the whole with this game, there are some areas in which you can nitpick. Many of them came with the reserve offense in the game. But on the whole, I think the defense was exceptional. I think Jalen Daniels, outside of one kind of maybe misjudged slot fade, even then it was still a good play by the Wagner DB. On the whole, I don't think KU will come away from this game feeling too bad about the way they performed.
Definitely. You mentioned like kind of that up-tempo offense that maybe has been lacking in previous years. It helps when you have an explosive wide receiver core. Obviously some great transfer that adds some quick speed on it. What have you liked from them in the first two games?
Yeah, so the first game was kind of an exhibition for Cam Pickett. I mean, in the first half of that one, he had 6 catches, 77 yards, a pair of touchdowns, and they really showed how he can come out of the backfield. You know, it's a guy who had a lot of experience carrying the ball at Ball State, and I'm sure they'll do various things out of those same looks with him in the backfield and going forward. This game was really more of an exhibition for Emmanuel Henderson. And you see how just his speed can generate so many pass interference penalties. It's not even necessarily about actually getting him the ball, although they did do that in the second half, but just the threat he provides forces defenses to kind of play on their heels because they know he can get up to 23 miles an hour out there on the field. But yeah, I thought that play between him and JD at the start of the second half, 49 seconds in, 62-yard touchdown, was really important for both players' confidence, but especially Jalen Daniels, so he didn't end his evening on a sour note after that aforementioned pick in the end zone.
I know Lance kind of downplayed it a little bit. He hasn't said we're thinking of it, and that's great coach talk as well, but I mean, what does this game mean for obviously the team, but KU fans? They're going to be traveling to Columbia next weekend.
Yeah, this is on an entirely different level from the Sunflower Showdown, and I mean, I don't think it's controversial at all to say that. Like, this is a relationship between two states that's based on historical bloodshed from the 1850s. You know, KU and K-State have a lot of animosity between them, but this is, I mean, it's a war, as they say. Of course, that's not the official name of it anymore, but for the people involved, for the fans, for everyone associated with both universities, they take this one really personal. I think it'll be interesting to see the ways KU chooses to educate its players on this game over the course of the week leading into it. Sometimes teams will bring in a speaker or something like that. I wonder what they might do in that realm. But on the other hand, as Lance Leipold said, whatever happens, they still got to play at least nine games after that. They got a bye week after, which I think is really helpful, because whichever way it goes, you don't want to get too high or too low. But Missouri's going to be a challenge. This could be one of the best teams KU plays all year. It certainly will be, I think, even. And, you know, they beat Central Arkansas 61-6. That number kind of speaks for itself, and Central Arkansas isn't a bad FCS team. Bo Pribula looked great. Their defensive front looks really, really intimidating. Certainly will be the best edition of that particular group KU faces all year. So, yeah, they got their work cut out for them, and based on what I saw in Mizzou Arena last year when I went there for basketball, I have a feeling this will be as hostile an environment as any of these guys play in throughout their football careers.
I feel hyped up already.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Henry did a good job explaining it there. It's going to be an intense matchup.
An intense matchup and a great matchup, and one that's long awaited to be back.
It's going to be a fun one. Well, stick with us. We've got live betting odds of week 2 of college football coming up.
And what games to look out this week for the Cats and the Hawks, and that is right after this.
Keep your RV in top shape with Noller RV's exclusive service specials. Our part-timer package is just $349, perfect for occasional trips. And our weekender package is only $11.99, ideal for frequent travelers. Visit Noller RV today for expert service and peace of mind on the road.
This is not a drill. Brake Subaru just dropped 0% financing for 72 months on in-stock Subaru Outbacks. But only 20 are available, and they're moving fast. No interest, no gimmicks. Hurry to Brake Subaru in Topeka before they're gone.
Batter up at Play It Again Sports. We offer an extensive selection of new and used baseball and softball equipment from Wilson, Easton, Rawlings, Louisville Slugger, DeMarini, String King, Dudley, Mizuno, Marucci, and Nakona. We have custom uniforms. Try before you buy with our indoor batting cage. Bring in your quality used gear to save even more by trading in and trading up, or get cash on the spot. We are buying all day, every day. Play It Again Sports, 21st and Fairlawn in the Fairlawn Plaza Mall.
I decided I wanted to be a meteorologist at a very young age and never changed my mind. I've worked at a couple other stations in my career, but when my wife and I got to Topeka, it just felt like home and the right place to raise our family. I love working in the Midwest because we have a good dose of all 4 seasons each year. I love watching the beauty of storms, but I know what they can do, so I take my severe weather coverage seriously. If I can stay calm and collected during storms, then hopefully I can help those in the path of them stay calm too. That's why I'm here, working for you.
This fall, the music returns.
Just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
One audition which changed my life, Kelly Clarkson. Those notes, though.
Kelly's all new this fall.
Sing it, girl.
You'll never get enough.
Weekdays at 3 on 27 KSNT. The 27 News mobile app is designed with you in mind. Subscribing to notifications is easy. Download the 27 News mobile app today.
All right, real quick. This week for the Wildcats, they've got a couple volleyball matches at home. K-State soccer taking on Harvard and Boston. Cross country kicking off its season in Nebraska. And, of course, Army visiting Manhattan for football this Saturday.
And for the Jayhawks, women's volleyball is playing 3 matches in Indiana, taking on Bowling Green, Georgia Tech, and Purdue. Plus, the first road game of the season for KU football is, of course, we talked about, they head to Columbia for the border showdown on Saturday. Sydney, you'll be on site for that one. That's going to be a crazy environment. I just can't wrap my head around how much that is just going to be popping off the scene.
It's been a long-awaited game, and I'm excited to see what fans from KU travel and make that drive. It's not too far down I-70, so hopefully they get a good KU crowd.
About 3 hours, it will not be too bad at all. Well, let's take a look at the live betting odds for week 2 ahead of some big-time matchups in the Sunflower State. The Wildcats currently 16.5-point favorites over Army at home, and the Jayhawks, as we talked about it, heading into Columbia, they're 7.5-point dogs in the border showdown. Thoughts?
Hey, both great matchups this next week for the Cats and the Hawks, and it'll be exciting to see how week 2 shapes up as we start kind of gearing into that tough football game play.
KU has a tough one. K-State going against Army, trying to look for a big bounce-back win. Both very interesting matchups, I would say.
Can be a statement week, too, as well.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for watching, K-Nation. We hope to see you again next Sunday after 27 News at 10.
Have a great night.
What did you make of those holding penalties?
The refs called them, so they're holding penalties.
You're going to have a hangover game. It's either going to be game 2, game 3, game 4. And I look at our schedule, and that's before that we got 4 in a row before we get a break. I told the guys I hope this was our hangover game.